All right. It's the Live Drive Jive Archive with your host, Frank Monday, coming at you on another cold, wintry day. Man, it is frozen out this morning. I hope you're doing well out in Happy Land, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. Broadcasting to you from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Peking. Frank Monday, out across the airwaves like a telepathic transmission, beamed from an antiquitech, ancient megalithic structure capped with a crystal emerald. Was it emerald today? Is it sapphire? Let's say it's a sapphire pyramidion, perfectly shaped in the, hey, this guy's up. Gotta open the gate, bro. Perfectly shaped with Pythagorean proportions. But the transmission is not limited to the puerile, mundane, three-dimensional logic of our material sphere. Oh, no, brothers and sisters, wizards and wayfarers. It transmits across non-Euclidean angles through all dimensions, in every direction, every dimension and direction, everywhere and always. It is the grand transmission of the Tetragrammaton. Our humble, wow, the moon's up. The moon is up in an eastern sky. It is a waxing crescent moon, beautiful. That luminous disc of, no wonder it's so cool. Even with that little sliver of a crescent moon, it's generating that cool yin energy light. So if you're not familiar with Taoist cosmology, yin and yang are the masculine and feminine principle, also represented in the Kabbalion as the seventh principle of Hermetic truths, gender. So you've got, in the material sphere, we basically divide into varying degrees of masculine and feminine. So the gender principle at the one end is the feminine, the divine feminine, Shekinah. And on the other end, on the pillar of Boaz and Joaquin, we've got the epitome of masculinity, the Ubermensch. Yeah. Wow. There was a epitome of femininity right there. Wow. The Mandelbrot set. Is it just a coincidence that the Mandelbrot set makes the shape of a heart-shaped butt? Right? I saw recently a post in Mugbook that a guy had posted, and he said there was a new religion of butt worship, worshiping big female butts. And I was like, what? How come I haven't heard about that religion? Sign me up right now. What do you need, a tithing? Let's get on it. Anyway, yeah, so the Mandelbrot set shows that manifestation. Any coincidence that it's one of the most alluring things for, so ancestor Liu Dongbing is one of the 8 immortals, and he's the de facto leader. And if you ever see a representation of the 8 immortals in Chinese mythology, he's in my humble opinion, he's the most handsome among them. He carries a sword on his back and a horse hair whisk, like that type of thing for shooing away flies. And he has a flute in his in his waistband. And so I've kind of modeled myself on Master Lu. But the point being, they also go by aliases, right? Like Frank Monday also goes by Frater Francis Lunis, etc., etc. Mr. Monday, this kind of thing. But Master Lu, one of his other names was Übermensch, or the Superman. In Chinese, it is Chen Yangzi, or Chen means total or complete, and Yang is the Yang principle, Yang masculine energy, and then Zi is like a son of heaven. So it basically means complete masculine son. But the funny thing is like masculinity back then wasn't exactly the same. Yeah, you know, it's different in every culture and region wherever you go. But so he's a good looking fella. What was I talking about? Oh, the moon inspired that little rant off into Taoism. Master Lu was also known as he cruised around with a guy named Tia Guai, and Tia Guai was Iron Crutch Li. So his story was he was achieving Tao, and he achieved Tao, and he left his body during astral projection, and he hadn't set up safeguards for the body, and he was out having a good time on the astral, and while he was gone, another spirit jumped into his body and stole it and took off. And so when he came back, his body was gone, and he's like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I've lost my body. Here I am in the, you know, the perfected crystal body of Tao, the luminous body. And so he cruised around, and he found a drunk vagabond that had a broken leg, and or a gimp leg, and he took over that guy's body because the guy had pretty much nearly abandoned it anyway, you know, with indolence and dissipation through negligence. And so he took it over, and then he is the one that taught Master Lu the secret of immortality. And then the two of them cruised around China during the Tang Dynasty, and supposedly they lived over 1,000 years. Who knows, maybe even still cruising around, you never know. But, you know, legendary stuff. And they taught Tao to the other 6 immortals, or each of the other immortals. Some of them, they taught it to them or gave them magic pills, you know, the Philosopher's Stone or Elixir of Immortality. But some of them had learned it on their own. So the feminine principle, the yin, today must be the first day of the 11th lunar month. And it's the first or second day of the solar month, the 12th solar month. Okay, we're pushing up on the 10-minute mark, so I'm gonna cut this one short and head over to the Live Drive Jive archive. Give me some yo's out there. If you're out there in Happy Land, yo, come on! What is your favorite patron saint or deity, divine being, immortal? Who do you look up to and try to emulate in your path and magic? Don't forget about the 100-day magical challenge. Get your Aladdin's lamp wish list ready. Join me in the adorations and invocations of the divine realm. Let's journey forward in time, right? And we can project back to other folks from the future, because that's the way it works here on the Frank Monday channel. Y'all good looking sexy people, stay well. As above, so below, and I will see you in the abodes of Tomorrowland. Good magic.